Need some fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins? Go to MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below. Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is Mad Money Shot, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. Got some plays for you today, really coverage specific plays for cover 4 quarters, cover 4 palms. This is a defense. A lot of people are always in my comment section or on my Patreon hitting me up saying, how do you beat this defense? So I'm guessing in leagues people use this defense. I see it a little bit online, but not a ton. I don't really think that it's a great defense, but it definitely throws people for a loop because you can't make the normal reads you can. It's not really a man coverage, it's not really a zone coverage. It's just kind of a really unique coverage. So I think a lot of people really get thrown for a loop when they see it. But ultimately, it's a defense you'll pretty much never see me using because there's a way to beat it to the point where you basically just destroy it with a straight up streak. Like, it's a pretty glitched defense. It's something that EA is constantly working on to try to make better. Like I said, to me, it's a total work in progress. I put out a video earlier in the year where the entire defense just collapsed based off of what I was doing. They went and they patched that, which, you know, the concept still works, but they patched it on that specific play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of plays, 2 that you can find in just about any playbook. I'll start off with that. Then I'll end the video with a concept so you can find pretty much any way to beat that coverage, at the end of the video. So stick around for that. Other than that, let's go ahead and let's start off with the first play. I'm going to show like a bread and butter play that really works well against it. Then I'll show a one-play touchdown, all of it from the same formation, the gun tight. So the bench is the first play that I'm going to start with. I use this play non-stop. It's one of the best plays in the game. It's a very basic play. You've probably seen me use this a lot in my gameplay footages. I play a lot of draft champions, and this plays in pretty much every playbook. Both of the plays I'm going to show you, you should be able to find a variation of that play in just about every playbook in the game, which makes this really helpful. Then on the defensive side, I'm just going to pick, I'm going to match coverage, and I'm going to go cover 4 quarters. Like I said, this should work against just about anything. I would imagine that the nickel normal is probably the most commonly used one. They have dime normal. They have, there's so many cover 4 quarters, and I can, like I said, as I change plays, I'll try to show different variations of these plays as well. So I'll try to show them from defense to defense. But like I said, we're starting off with cover 4 quarters. If you want to see more videos like this, I also have some really good cover 2 man, which is another very hard defense to home run. I have a lot of plays for that. I'd like to do that video next. If you want to see more coverage specific videos and concept videos for coverages, do me a favor, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section. Before I start the video though, I just want to thank my new sponsors at MMOXP.com. If you guys are looking to buy some coins for your MUT team, you can do that there, and you can support me by supporting them and buying your coins through them. And make sure to use discount code MONEYSHOT so they know that you came from my site, from my channel. Other than that, let's get into the video. So like I said, I'm starting off with this play because there's so many plays this beats. I mean, this beats just about anything. It beats cover 2, cover 3, cover 4 with a slight variations. You can beat just about any defense, which is why I run it so much. But for, if you run somebody running, honestly, this play should be in your arsenal out of at least 1 every 10 plays. You should be running the bench concept at least by some variation. But ultimately, like I said, if I see a cover 4 quarters or cover 4 palms, the Y route, this kind of treats it like a man coverage, and the Y route's just going to get outside of it, just like a man coverage. If it's a man cover 1, man cover 2, I could go the opposite way to Kittle. As you can see, Kittle's route's a little bit deeper. Tight ends aren't as athletic, so I typically go to the wide receiver side. You can see it doesn't even work the same way. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but typically the wide receiver side is really the way to go. And that's typically the way I go. You can see I have my fastest receiver there. I don't typically, like I said, I don't typically go George Kittle's way just because, if it was a receiver, if I could put a receiver where George Kittle is, he's a great player, but that just doesn't work out as good as the left side. So typically, I'm going to go to the receiver side regardless. And like I said, I'm not exactly sure, but for whatever reason, he's kind of double covered. There's a cornerback and a safety, and for some reason, the Y route gets open. I couldn't tell you why that is. Now, there's several adjustments you can make that can make this play kind of isolate Godwin more, so he gets open even more. You can see I just scored a touchdown there. But if you motion out Bourne, this X route, you can see how it's just going to give you a little bit more space, and it's going to mirror the motion in the second play anyway, so it's no way going to give away anything, not necessarily. Another thing you can do is you put the RB route on a streak. I don't know why, but this will pull that safety over to the point where he's not even there anymore to follow, mostly because the center of the field gets vacant, because like I said, these four quarters kind of act like man covers to a certain extent. So he'll recognize the RB route coming out of the backfield, and he'll have to go over there. So you'll basically get your one-on-one. Not a huge difference though, because like I said, it worked either way. But it's something you can do if you want to get rid of that one receiver. You can also slant Pettis, which for whatever reason will have a similar effect. Once again, it'll give you a better check down for sure as well. So I've already made an entire video on this play about all the ways that I use this. Just this play alone, this is like one of the most versatile plays in the game. Another thing you do is you can put the X route on a flat. That will kind of once again, like you can see how it just creates space. That's a trick I typically do in cover 3. Has the exact same effect here. You can just say how these minor differences, you can see how these minor changes really change the coverage. If I were to put the RB route on a streak and motion them to the line, it actually has a negative effect. It'll actually make the cornerback on the other side, you see how he just bails out. I mean, that was actually, what I meant to say is it has a negative effect if I leave him on an out route. There I did the flat route concept, which is a little bit different. But if I leave the X route on an out route and motion the RB route to the line, you'll see how that cornerback will drop back. But since I had him in a flat, it's a completely different story. But you can see here, I mean, it doesn't really seem to matter. But like I said, there, I streaked them, changes the defensive coverage slightly. But you can see, I mean, there's just a lot of different things you can do. So this first play is really versatile. And then, like I said, obviously flat routing, Bourne, you can see how that's going to drop that quarters coverage down. That's one of the things that really roasts this defense the most is low routes. And that's what I'm going to show you one of these plays coming up. The concept is when you have a lot of low routes, for some reason the streaks just really dominate. It doesn't necessarily on this play because the streak they recognize, and that's why they chase that streak. But like I said, I mean, you can just see how there's just they're so easy to destroy cover 4 quarters. So that's, like I said, that's why I don't use this defense. So let's move on to the second play, more of a one-play touchdown, even though I've been scoring a lot. So like I said, that's my bread and butter. I got a gameplay I was just playing this in. It's going to come out soon, where I showed and my opponent was running cover 4 quarters, and that was the end of it for him. He didn't run cover 4 quarters. By the second half, he was done running cover 4 quarters because it's just so easy if you run these two plays. The second play I'm going to show you is the drive corner. So let's go ahead and let's pick that. Keep going with the exact same cover 4 quarters, although I'll switch it up to the big nickel. It won't make a difference. It's the exact same defense. So cover 4 palms this time. So this play right here, you can run it just like this. Once again, a lot of low routes. That's the key. One route going deep and a lot of low routes typically gives this defense a lot of trouble. You can see right there, the Y route just gets through it. I don't know if I got the throw, but it's just getting past. Like I said, for whatever reason, the way that this defense reacts to the low routes is the death of this play. The only adjustment that I would say I really think is the best adjustment. For some reason, sometimes these guys can, because they're so close, they can kind of get in each other's way. The coverage can get in the way of Godwin if he's in like this. He's not doing it on this particular play, but I can see it happens sometimes. So like I said, this is fine run as is. This play, because like I said, it's so glitched out, a lot of times streaks from the inside can just destroy this. So I'm going to go to my motion now, Bourne the same way. I'm just going to streak guide him. I don't even need that route angling the way that it is. And you can see how they don't pay attention. I just don't know what's the deal. This defense to me is just a terrible defense, and it's so easy to break. You just have to know how to break it. Like I said, the concept is a lot of short routes for whatever reason make these guys play low before, and then it's just too late. And you can see I'm just bombing it up. I honestly think that it's probably best to bullet pass these passes too. I'm just tapping them and lobbing them up. So next play I'm going to pick out of the gun tray open. Another way of just showing how glitchy this play is. Like I said, streaks have a crazy effect on it. I'm going to pick the drag verticals first. This one sets up really well. Continuing with this defense. This play, all you have to do is just motion over the Y route. Just stretch this defense apart. That's all it is. You're going to see how this A route just gets completely butt naked over the middle of the defense. And then I just basically, like I said, what kind of defense is this? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why people necessarily run this play. My biggest issue is pass protection. So like I said, I mean, just a little bit of an adjustment here. And for whatever reason, this is just going to glitch out the defense. That's really all there is to it. The only issue, like I said, pass pro. I would have waited. I would like to wait. I mean, you can see it still worked. I would have liked to have waited a little bit, and that guy would have been open by about 10 yards. But you can see how easily this play works. So, like I said, motioning him out just has an effect. This defense is not very good. It just totally glitches out the defense once again. He's got about 20 yards of separation. So let's show one more play here. So one more play. I honestly feel like routes with multiple breaking points is really what makes this defense crack. As you're going to see on the next play, the shark halfback wheel. So once again, just like the previous play, the running back in the backfield, the RB route has a play here because, you know, like I said, treats it like a man to an extent. He does get down the field, so you can do that. But ultimately, I also can get a completely busted coverage if I once again motion him to the line, just like the previous play. I motion the running back to the line, completely changes the defense. So like I said, right here, you can see how the coverage just completely breaks. That was actually pretty good catch up by number 33. So you can see there's two ways to do this. So, I mean, a couple of these plays, I showed you multiple ways to do it. This one here, if you want the running back to be the guy, if you have a really fast running back, you know, you can just wait for him to turn up the field, turn up the sideline, and you're going to have a big play. Also, it's always a benefit not to motion a player, not to give away a play. A lot of times motions will make the user follow. So if you want to make sure that the user doesn't get in the way of this, motioning out the running back could be a really good call. And then you can see, like I said, the B route definitely is getting past everything. So that there was not, not how I want to end the video. So let's do this one more time. So let's get some pass pro here. Like I said, we're just, I mean, that you can see that guy's flat foot and chasing. So many different ways to beat this defense. Let's go and let's end the video. Like I said, if you guys want to see more coverage specific plays, if you want to see more unique, you know, coverages, like I said, cover 2 man's probably one you'd run into every once in a while. It's a pretty hard defense to stop. I could do that next. Do me a favor, the like button, I'll do that. Other than that, thanks for watching, man. Shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.